welcome to English Connect's elementary podcast number 1. I am Sabah Ehsan, and I have with me here Fiona Robertson, a senior academic manager from the British Council Pakistan. Today we have a very interesting concept to share with you. Hello, Fiona. How are you?
I'm fine. Hi, Sabah. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I was wondering if you could tell us about a lesson that you've tried out on the Teaching English website.
Oh, the grandfriend lesson. Yes, no, I
Absolutely.
really recommend that you try it out, actually. It's on the British Council Teaching English website, and it's a new lesson that they've just put up.
Really? So this lesson is about a grandfriend. I have no idea what is a grandfriend actually. I've never heard that word before.
So I haven't either. I think they've just invented it for the lesson. But a grandfriend is anybody who's an older relative. So it could be a grandfather, grandmother, great aunt, older person. And I just thought it's really good for the context in Pakistan because, a lot of people live in houses where there's extended family. There are older relations, older people, and they often, look after children. So because this is a lesson for children, it's kind of context that the children are familiar with, and they would be able to describe and talk about a grandparent or somebody else that they spend a lot of time with. Maybe this person, looks after them or plays with them.
It's very interesting to know that. So, what kind of students would this lesson target essentially, and what age group and level?
So this is for kids, as I said. So primary kids, age 6 to 8, probably. So grade 1 or definitely 2, 3, 4, that kind of age range. It's quite simple. It's quite low level. So let's say A1 level. So fairly basic grammar and vocabulary.
Right, so that also answers my next question, which was that would this lesson be covering any specific grammar point or vocabulary? But you've said that it would be quite basic, right?
It's quite basic. It's not actually teaching grammar or vocabulary, so it would be revising it. The specific grammar point is simple present third person singular with a few verbs. So, for example, she has, he eats, she likes, she is. So third person singular, and it's got the interrogative as well of the simple present. And the vocabulary is like everyday vocabulary. So where somebody lives, what they eat, what they like, their hobbies, their pets. But again, nothing very complicated. It should be vocabulary that students at that level would already know.
Oh, okay then. So I also wanted to ask which specific skills will the students be practicing?
So there's lots of speaking, which is good. So the students talk about their grandfriend. There's also a listening, which is rather nice, that the teacher creates himself or herself. So in fact, I was actually looking for an audio attachment, but there isn't one. There's a text that you read out to the students. So the teacher describes some older people, and the students look at pictures, and they have to decide which pictures are relevant to each person, which is quite nice. There's a little bit of reading, not that much, because actually a lot of checking from pictures, and a little bit of writing at the end of the lesson, which they could do for homework.
I think it's very helpful to know that. Fiona, would you recommend if less experienced teachers could use this lesson plan?
Absolutely. One of the nice things about the lesson plan, firstly, there are two versions. There's one that you can use in a face-to-face class, and another one that you can use online, which is really important for the current situation with COVID. Maybe the kids are not in school. And the one that's actually face-to-face, there are instructions as to how to, ensure that the SOPs for COVID are put in place so that the group activities, that the students maintain social distancing. The lesson plan are set out in a very, very detailed way, both the online one and the face-to-face one, so that if you haven't been teaching for long, you just follow everything step by step. There's even, guidelines for online safety, for example. If you're an experienced teacher and you know all this, obviously you just skip all that explanation, and you just get an idea. You could also adapt it for your own context. You don't obviously have to follow it to the letter, but yeah, so it's could be used by any teacher, regardless of lack or amount of experience.
All right. Thank you. And my last question is quite fun, actually. I wanted to check if there are any fun activities in this lesson.
Absolutely. So there are links to videos which are on the Learn English Kids website, which is a free website for kids. And it's rather nice because you've got a granny who is, in a very kind of light way, pointing out grammar to her granddaughter who's asking her questions. So you've got a little story, and embedded in that story, there's some grammar points. And it's nice, it's quite short. They're really nice graphics. It's real people, but they're in a sort of cartoon situation. So yeah, really, really nice. So that you can. It's also linked into other resources that the teacher and the children can explore.
All right, Fiona. Thank you very much for walking us through the concept of a grand friend and this lesson.
Are you going to try it out, Saba?
I certainly will. Thank you very much for introducing me to it.
Great. Okay, well, you let me know how it goes, and lovely to speak to you.
You too, Fiona. Take care and thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.